Have you ever looked at your medicine cabinet and wondered if you're taking the right supplements? Or maybe you've avoided supplements altogether because the choices are overwhelming and you're not sure what actually works. Perhaps you've tried vitamin D, calcium, fish oil, or a dozen other bottles promising miraculous results, only to feel exactly the same months later. Your energy is still low, your joints still ache, and you're wondering if you're just throwing money away on expensive urine, as some doctors like to say. You're not alone in this confusion. Walk into any pharmacy and you'll find thousands of supplements, each claiming to be the fountain of youth. The supplement industry makes over $40 billion a year, mostly from people over 50 who are desperately searching for something, anything, that will help them feel like themselves again. But here's what the supplement companies don't want you to know. 95% of the supplements on those shelves won't make a meaningful difference in how you feel. They're either poorly absorbed, incorrectly dosed, or targeting problems that aren't your real issue. What if I told you that there's one supplement, just one, that addresses the root cause of almost every health challenge people face after 50? Something so fundamental to your body's function that when it's missing, everything else starts to break down. And when it's optimized, everything else starts to work better. I'm talking about something your body used to make abundantly when you were younger, but production drops by 50% or more after age 40. Something that affects your energy, your sleep, your mood, your immune system, your heart health, your bone strength, and even your ability to think clearly. The medical establishment has known about this for decades, but it's rarely the first thing they recommend. Big pharmaceutical companies can't patent it because it's a natural compound your body already recognizes. And most doctors were never taught how to properly test for it or recommend the right dosage. Imagine waking up in the morning and actually feeling rested. Picture having steady energy throughout the day without that 3 p.m. crash. Visualize sleeping through the night without waking up multiple times. Think about having the motivation to exercise, the mental clarity to remember names and details, and the physical resilience to recover quickly from minor illnesses. Today, I'm going to reveal the one supplement that changed everything for thousands of people over 50, including a 73-year-old retired teacher named David, whose transformation will shock you. This isn't about taking handfuls of pills or spending hundreds of dollars every month. This is about one targeted intervention that addresses multiple problems at their source. But before we dive deep into this life-changing information, make sure you subscribe to this channel right now, because this is exactly the kind of evidence-based health content that can transform your golden years from surviving to thriving. Hit that subscribe button. Let's optimize your health together. Here's something that might surprise you. The supplement I'm talking about isn't exotic or expensive. It's not a newly discovered wonder drug from some remote rainforest. It's vitamin D3, but not the way most people think about it or take it. When most people hear vitamin D, they think of bone health and maybe preventing rickets in children. But calling vitamin D a vitamin is actually a mistake. It's not a vitamin at all, it's a hormone. And it's one of the most powerful hormones in your body, affecting virtually every cell and organ system. Here's what happens as you age. Your skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D from sunlight. Your kidneys become less effective at converting it to its active form. You spend more time indoors. You use more sunscreen. And if you live anywhere north of Atlanta, the sun isn't strong enough for 6 months of the year to make any meaningful vitamin D in your skin anyway. By age 70, your skin produces about 75% less vitamin D than it did when you were 20. This isn't a minor inconvenience, it's a health catastrophe that's hiding in plain sight. Think of vitamin D as the master key that unlocks proper function throughout your body. When levels are optimal, your immune system works like a well-trained army. Strong enough to fight off infections, but smart enough not to attack your own tissues. Your muscles maintain their strength, and your bones their density. Your brain produces the neurotransmitters you need for good mood and clear thinking. But when vitamin D levels drop, and they drop dramatically after 50, it's like trying to start a car with a dying battery. Everything becomes sluggish. Your immune system gets confused, leading to more frequent colds and increased inflammation. Your muscles weaken faster. Your bones become fragile. Your mood darkens. Your sleep becomes restless. Studies show that people with optimal vitamin D levels have 40% fewer respiratory infections, 35% better muscle strength, 50% lower risk of falls, and significantly better mood scores compared to those with deficient levels. Research from Harvard Medical School found that optimal vitamin D status is associated with a 43% reduction in overall mortality risk. But here's the critical part most people get wrong. The standard recommendation of 400–800 IU per day is woefully inadequate for most adults over 50. It might prevent rickets in a child, but it won't optimize hormone levels in an adult. Most people need 2,000–5,000 IU daily to reach therapeutic blood levels, and some need even more. Have you ever had your vitamin D blood level tested? Or noticed that you feel worse during winter months when there's less sunlight? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone else connect the dots between their symptoms and this crucial hormone deficiency. The most remarkable part of understanding vitamin D isn't the science. It's seeing what happens when someone finally gets it right. And nobody demonstrates this better than David, a 73-year-old retired teacher who went from barely getting through each day to feeling like he'd turned back the clock 20 years. David was the kind of teacher every student remembered fondly. For 35 years, he brought history to life in his classroom, coached the debate team, and never missed a school event. But at 73, David felt like a shadow of his former self. "I couldn't understand what was happening to me," David told me during our interview. "I'd wake up tired, struggle through the day, and be in bed by 7 p.m. My wife kept saying I seemed depressed, but I just felt empty, like my batteries were permanently drained." The problems had started gradually. First, David noticed he was catching every cold and flu that went around. Then came the aches and pains that never seemed to go away. His balance became shaky, and he started using the handrail every time he went up or down stairs. Most concerning of all, the sharp mind that had made him such an engaging teacher seemed clouded and slow. "I went to 3 different doctors," David recalled. "They ran blood tests, checked my heart, did memory screenings. Everything came back normal for your age. I was told to accept that this was just what 73 looks like." David's turning point came during a routine physical when a new doctor, fresh out of residency, decided to run a comprehensive vitamin panel. David's vitamin D level came back at 18 nm. The young doctor's eyes widened. "Mr. David, you're severely deficient. This could explain almost everything you've been experiencing." David was skeptical. "I thought vitamin deficiencies were something that happened to people in poor countries, not retired teachers in suburban America." He laughed. But he was desperate enough to try anything. The doctor prescribed 5,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily, along with vitamin K2 to help with absorption. He explained that most people my age are walking around with critically low levels, especially those of us who spend most of our time indoors, David said. The transformation didn't happen overnight, but it was steady and remarkable. After 6 weeks, David noticed he was sleeping through the night for the first time in years. After 2 months, his energy started returning, not in sudden bursts, but as a steady, reliable vitality he hadn't felt in a decade. By 3 months, he was back to taking daily walks with his wife. "The most amazing part wasn't just feeling better," David said. "It was realizing how bad I had been feeling. I thought that exhaustion and brain fog were just normal parts of aging. I had accepted a diminished life without even realizing it." Today, at 75, David volunteers at the local historical society, has resumed his passion for woodworking, and recently completed a 5-mile charity walk. His latest blood test showed his vitamin D level at 55 nanogram, right in the optimal range. People ask me what I'm taking, expecting some expensive miracle supplement. When I tell them it's vitamin D3, something that costs about $10 for a 3-month supply, they don't believe me. But it's true. This one simple change gave me my life back. Have you ever experienced a dramatic improvement in your health and energy from something surprisingly simple? Or maybe you've struggled with mysterious fatigue and wonder if it could be related to a deficiency. Share your story in the comments. We love hearing about real transformations like David's. Just like David, you can optimize your vitamin D levels and potentially transform how you feel. But it's not about grabbing any bottle of vitamin D from the pharmacy shelf. There's a right way and a wrong way to do this, and getting it right makes all the difference. 1. Get tested first. Know your starting point. Before you take a single pill, you need to know your current vitamin D blood level. Ask your doctor for a 25-OHD test. That's the accurate measure of your vitamin D status. Don't accept "it's probably fine" as an answer. You need numbers. Optimal levels are between 40–60 nang-ml, 100–150 nmol. Most labs will call anything above 30 nang-ml sufficient. but that's like saying a car with one working cylinder is sufficient. Technically functional, but nowhere near optimal performance. If you're like most people over 50, your level will be between 10 to 25 nangmol, which is severely deficient. This isn't your fault. It's almost inevitable given our indoor lifestyles and the reality of aging skin. 2. Choose the right form. D3, not D2. Always choose vitamin D3, cholecalciferol, not D2, ergocalciferol. D3 is the form your skin makes from sunlight and is much more effective at raising blood levels. Many prescription vitamin D supplements are D2, which is less potent and doesn't last as long in your system. 3. Dose appropriately. More than you think, most people over 50 need 2,000–5,000 IU daily to reach optimal blood levels. Some need even more. The old recommendation of 400–800 IU daily is outdated and inadequate for adults. Don't be afraid of these higher doses. They're still well below the tolerable upper limit of 10,000 IU daily. David started with 5,000 IU daily and maintains that dose because it keeps his blood level in the optimal range. Your needs might be different, which is why testing is crucial. 4. ADD, the supporting cast. K2 and magnesium vitamin D3 works best when paired with vitamin K2, which helps direct calcium to your bones rather than your arteries. Take 100–200 mcg of K2, MK7 form daily with your D3. Magnesium is also crucial because your body needs it to convert vitamin D to its active form. Most people are deficient in magnesium too. Take 200–400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate daily. 5. Take with fat. Absorption matters. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, so take it with a meal that contains some fat for optimal absorption. A handful of nuts, avocado, or even just a tablespoon of olive oil will do the trick. 6. Be consistent. Daily beats weekly. Take your vitamin D3 daily rather than taking large weekly doses. Daily dosing maintains more stable blood levels and is more similar to how your skin would produce it naturally. 7. Retest in 3 months. Adjust as needed. After 3 months of consistent supplementation, retest your blood level and adjust your dose if needed. Once you reach optimal levels, retest every 6 to 12 months to ensure you're maintaining them. Remember, this isn't about taking supplements forever without knowing if they're working. It's about using targeted testing and supplementation to optimize a crucial hormone that affects virtually every aspect of your health. The truth about optimal health after 50 is both simple and profound. Sometimes the most powerful interventions are the most basic ones. Vitamin D3 isn't exotic or expensive, but when optimized, it can be the foundation that allows everything else in your body to work properly. Think for a moment about what your life could look like with optimal vitamin D levels. What would you do if you had consistent, reliable energy from morning until evening? Imagine waking up naturally, feeling refreshed and ready for the day ahead. Picture yourself having the stamina to play with grandchildren without needing to rest afterward. Visualize taking on projects you've been putting off because you just don't have the energy anymore. See yourself sleeping deeply through the night, waking up with a clear mind instead of that morning fog that takes hours to lift. Imagine your immune system working so effectively that you rarely catch the colds and flu that seem to knock you down for weeks at a time. Picture your mood being naturally more positive and resilient, not dependent on weather or circumstances. Visualize having the physical confidence to try new activities, take trips, or simply navigate daily life without worry about falls or fatigue. This isn't wishful thinking. It's what happens when you give your body the hormonal foundation it needs to function optimally. David proved that it's possible to feel dramatically better at 73 than he did at 70. The only difference was optimizing one crucial hormone that his body had been desperately lacking. You don't need to accept fatigue, frequent illness, poor sleep, or brain fog as inevitable parts of aging. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars on handfuls of supplements that may or may not work. Sometimes the solution is as simple as optimizing one fundamental system that affects everything else. The beauty of the vitamin D approach is its simplicity and affordability. For less than $10 per month, the cost of a couple of fancy coffees, you can potentially address multiple health challenges at their root cause. Start with testing. Knowledge is power, and knowing your current vitamin D level gives you a concrete baseline to work from. Then supplement intelligently with the right form, the right dose, and the right supporting nutrients. Monitor your progress not just with blood tests, but with how you feel. Pay attention to your energy levels, sleep quality, mood, and resistance to minor illnesses. Your body will tell you when things are improving. Remember, David's transformation didn't happen overnight, but it was steady and life-changing. Give yourself at least 3 months to see the full benefits, but don't be surprised if you start noticing improvements much sooner. If this message has opened your eyes to the possibility that your fatigue and health challenges might have a simple solution, please like this video right now. Your like helps other people over 50 discover this potentially life-changing information. We've reached the end of our conversation, but this could be the beginning of your most energetic and vibrant chapter yet. And I want to leave you with something personal that I hope stays with you. Your health is not a luxury. It's the foundation of everything meaningful in your life. Every day you wake up, your body is asking for the basic building blocks it needs to create energy, maintain strength, and keep you feeling like yourself. You don't need to settle for good enough for your age. You've already lived through decades of experiences, challenges, and triumphs. Your body has been your faithful companion through all of it. Now it's asking for something so fundamental, so basic, that it almost seems too simple to be the answer. But sometimes the most powerful solutions are the simplest ones. Every time you take your vitamin D3, you're making a statement that you refuse to accept diminished health as inevitable. You're investing in your ability to show up fully for all the moments, relationships, and experiences still waiting for you. You don't need to transform everything at once. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle or spend a fortune on supplements. Just start with this one foundational step. Get tested. Optimize your vitamin D. Give your body the hormonal foundation it needs to work properly. David started with one simple supplement and got his life back. Thousands of others have done the same. Your story could be next. And you know what moves me most about sharing this information? It's knowing that somewhere, someone watching this video is going to get their vitamin D tested this week. In 3 months, they'll have more energy than they've had in years. In 6 months, they'll be doing things they thought they'd lost forever. Through this channel, we're building a community of people who refuse to accept that the best years are behind them. We're proving that with the right knowledge and simple science-based interventions, your 60s, 70s, and beyond can be your most vibrant decades yet. If this video gave you hope, if it made you realize that your fatigue might have a solution, I invite you to be part of this mission. Support our work by clicking the Super Thanks button if you found this valuable, or subscribe if you haven't already. But more important than any support for the channel is the commitment you make to yourself today. A commitment to test your vitamin D level. A commitment to optimize this crucial hormone. A commitment to believe that you deserve to feel energetic, healthy, and fully alive. Your future self is waiting for you to make this one simple change. Your energy, your health, your ability to fully enjoy your golden years may depend on it. Take care of your vitamin D levels, and they will take care of you. Here's to your most vibrant years ahead. If you want to support our mission of bringing evidence-based health solutions to people over 50, click the Super Thanks button below or subscribe to this channel right now. Together, we're proving that optimal health has no expiration date.